Good morning, everyone. Happy Valentine's Day. Clearly, I have been chosen to speak today because of my last name, Lovdahl. Okay, so why was the fly so nervous at the fruit market? Because he was on a date. Okay, bum. As hard as a date can be, as difficult as that is, it's not nearly as hard as evolution, change, and transformation. Those things can be so hard, and I think 2020 really gave us a taste of how hard change can be. The Buddhists say everything's impermanent, always changing. So how can we more effectively and more lovingly bring about transformation? After all, part of our spiritual center's mission statement is, with open hearts and minds, we participate in self-transformation for a world that works for everyone. Just for today, I'd like to change that phrase. I'm going to change it to, with open hearts and minds and empty teacups, we participate in self-transformation for a world that works for ourselves and for everyone. The empty teacup, of course, refers to the Buddhist story about the beginner's mind. It's that story about Nanin, the respected Buddhist master, who receives a university professor who intends to learn from Nanin all the legends and secrets and wonderful information and wisdom and knowledge of Zen Buddhism. So as the professor is seated with Nanin, he proceeds to talk, and he goes on and on and on. Meanwhile, Nanin proceeds to pour tea, and he pours the tea, and the professor continues to talk about all his knowledge, all his preconceived notions of Zen Buddhism, all his wisdom. Nanin continues to pour tea. Pretty soon, the cup is full. Nanin keeps pouring, the professor keeps talking. All of a sudden, the professor realizes, oh my gosh, there's tea all over the table. It's going everywhere. He jumps up and says, Stop pouring, it's over full. No more will go in. And Nanin tells him, like this cup, your mind is so full of your own opinions, your own preconceived notions, that there's no room for my teachings. In order to taste my tea, you must first empty your cup. An open heart and mind, just like an open teacup, is one that eagerly accepts and has space to hold and receive nourishment, insights, wisdom, comfort, peace, love, joy, goodness, and godness, all of which are self-transformative. So what's filling our teacups? What's preventing us from receiving our good? Could it be our old preconceived notions about unworthiness, old stories about victimhood, false or limiting beliefs about finances, health, abilities? What things which no longer serve our highest good do we want to empty out of our cups? Even if just a little, so that the goodness has space to enter and the ability to begin its transformational work within us. In Science of Mind, we believe that what we think about, we bring about. But can wishful thinking alone fill a cup that's already overflowing with worry, regret, negativity? We need to make room. Another way we sometimes express this idea are with phrases like, We need to get out of our own way. Or, how can the airplane land if we're standing on the runway? Chances are, if there's something I've really wanted and I've really done all my spiritual work around, and it hasn't manifested yet, something's blocking it. And chances are that something is me. This week, a friend of mine offered me a perfect living demonstration of emptying her teacup. She was preparing to start a strict dietary cleanse. She opened up a refrigerator and began removing food that wasn't part of that diet. Food that wasn't in alignment with what she wanted to have happen. She bagged up the food and gave it away. This allowed her to fill her refrigerator with those foods that would help her achieve her dietary goals. Instead of the empty cup, she was practicing the empty refrigerator. It's the same for us. When we want to receive our good, even a good breath of air that's life-giving and sustaining, we first have to exhale. And then we have room to inhale and take in that restorative breath. Today, I'd like to offer you a spiritual practice that is deceptively simple, yet effective in helping us to empty our teacups, empty our refrigerators, get out of our way, and get off the runway when the plane is trying to land. The way we do this is to simply bring more of our physical selves into our mental, spiritual practices. We are beings that are both mind and body, and these two aspects are connected. And if we're only thinking about what we want to have happen, we're only putting in half the effort. Granted, because there is that mind-body connection, the mind can often drag the body along. Hence, when we have fearful or anxious thoughts, we have a physiological reaction. Our heart rate increases, our breathing increases, our blood pressure goes up, just by our thoughts happening. During my meditations, my teachers would often say to me, "Come to your senses." And what they meant by that was my visual senses, my auditory sense, my olfactory sense, my tactile sense, and my gustatory senses are all elements that help me anchor into my meditation. Yeah, and gustatory is a word. I had to figure out, what does it mean to taste something? It's gustatory. These things, when I incorporate these senses, make my meditations more powerful. I need to bring more of my physical self into my spiritual mental practice. It's why we create vision boards. Here's one I put together for 2020. We use these to help us more effectively manifest our desires. Not only can we read and recite the words on vision boards, but we can see their pictorial representations. Ooh, vision, bringing in that sight. I can even increase the power of my affirming words if I add a fragrant candle to the practice that I do with my vision board. Or how about the sound of a lovely meditative bell? More senses, more power, more feeling into that meditation. In Abraham Hicks and the Power of Attraction lingo, we've just increased the vibrational frequency with which the universe comes to us and attempts to match, be a perfect match for us. Let's increase that. My personal choice for prayer and meditation is a moving meditation, like Tai Chi, for example, because it involves my whole body in the practice. And it's even better if I can incorporate lovely scenery, beautiful music to listen to as I'm doing my movement. More senses, more energetic power. I think the next time I'll add a Hershey bar as I'm doing my movements. Think about dancing. What is it about dancing that makes it powerful, that connects with our feelings? It's more than just the physiological moving to the beat. It's more than just exercise. It's something that's transformative or helps us be transformative. It's something that helps elevate us. Think of Sufi dancing and other aspects of religions that incorporate dancing and movement into their connection with the divine, into their prayer. It's so powerful. It's that energy that just goes through the roof. So I'm going to suggest a meditative movement for all of us to practice together today. It's going to help empty our cups and then fill them up with the right stuff. You can practice it with me right where you are. I just want you to be comfortable, and it's going to be really easy. And in honor of the beginning of the Chinese New Year, it's the year of the metal ox, I'm going to borrow a technique from traditional Chinese medicine. It's called Qigong tapping. We'll be working with that intrinsic energy in our bodies to release whatever is toxic, harmful, or whatever no longer serves us. And then we're going to openly accept and incorporate that which is healing, revitalizing, and transformational for us. So this practice involves intention and focus. We're going to focus on removing what no longer serves us and replacing that, inserting that, filling ourselves up with what serves us for our highest good. And so I ask you now just to become comfortable wherever you are. And you're going to do the breathing with a breath out first, emptying everything. And then you're going to inhale fully, filling that empty, open space. And we're going to start with our tapping, and we're going to use our arms only today. So if you're comfortable putting your arms on your lap or on a table in front of you, wherever you're comfortable, you just want your arms resting with your palms facing up. And the first thing we're going to do is we're going to do the extraction, the removal of what doesn't serve us. And we're going to do that very simply by taking our other hand, grabbing at our shoulder, and pulling out what it is we don't want. Then we're going to proceed to our elbow, pull out whatever it is we don't want, and then we're going to proceed to our wrist, and we're going to pull that out too. After we finish doing the pulling out part, we're going to do the putting in part. And that's going to look like this with some tapping. Basically, when we tap, we want to do it forceful enough to feel it, but not forceful enough to harm ourselves. And we'll do that at our shoulder, and we'll do that at our elbow, and we'll do that at our wrist. And we're going to do all of this with the intention and the words that we're going to speak about removal and the words we're going to speak about filling up. So and you can choose your own words. I'll do let go, release, and surrender. You can choose anything you want that talks to you about letting go. Remember all the times people just said, oh, just let go of that worry, and you think, well, how do I do that? Okay, well, here's a way you can do that. So once again, exhale, inhale, I let go. I let go. I let go of that worry. And now to our elbow. I release what I no longer need. I release what I no longer need. I release what no longer serves me. And now our wrist. Let go. I surrender. I surrender to my divine power that knows what is good for me. And now let's take another breath. Exhale. Fill up. Inhale. And now let's put in the good stuff. I open. I open. One more time. I open. And now to our elbow. I accept. I accept my good. I accept perfect health, healing, vitality. I accept all that is my highest good. And now to our wrist. I receive. I receive. I receive my very best. Okay, we've done one side. Guess what? We need to be in balance. So we're going to do the other arm now. So, taking a breath, exhaling first. Empty the teacup. Fill it up as we inhale. And now let go. Remove what we don't need. Get rid of it. Release it. And now to this part. This is the elbow, I think. Let go. Release. Surrender. Use your visualization. Now to the wrist. Let go. Visualize, sending that off. Release, sending it away. Surrender, taking it out, removing it. Okay, let's take a breath. Exhale. Inhale. Let's fill up now with the good stuff. I open. I accept. I receive. Now we're going to bring our hands forward and we're going to clap 9 times. We're going to rub our hands together as our palms connect and rub, creating friction, creating energy, creating heat and warmth and chi and life. We're going to take those palms now and we're going to place them on the crown of our head, one on top of the other. We're going to exhale. We're going to inhale fully. We're going to reverse our hands. Exhale. Inhale. Release. Gather in the good stuff. Bring it to our heart. Namaste. So, that might feel great. That might give you an idea of what do I do when someone tells me just let go, or when I know I need to let go of something. You have a technique, you have a practice that not only involves thinking, oh, I need to let go. Yeah, I should let go. That's really good. You have a way to incorporate your body in that actual effort of letting go, making it all the more powerful, making it all the more effective. And remember to make this practice yours. You can use whatever words you want to symbolize your letting go and releasing. You can use whatever words you want to symbolize your acceptance and your receiving of the good. Make it your own, customize it. Use it once a day. Use it whenever you need to let go of something. If you're tense, if you're nervous, if you have an ache or a pain, let go of that ache, let go of that pain. Insert the healing, insert the comfort, insert the vitality, all that. So now I have an additional meditative homework for you. Something else. I shouldn't call it homework. I should call it home play. Because when we play with energy in this way, that's exactly what we're called, players. We're called, if we're doing Tai Chi, they call us Tai Chi players. Not practitioners, not doers, players. We play with the energy. Have fun, okay? So what I want you to do at home is select 2 items and have them side by side where you're going to see them every day, first thing in the morning, okay? One object is going to represent what you want to remove from your teacup. The other object is going to represent what you want to pour into the teacup. And it can be any objects you want, but something maybe that holds significance for you or symbolizes what you want to let go of and what you want to pour in. So for example, I have a couple objects here. I picked a rock up. Would have been nice if my rock said let go. It happens to say release. It can be anything you want, doesn't matter. My rock is going to be releasing. The other object I chose was a seashell. This is going to be what I want to bring in. Ooh, and I get to incorporate another sense into this practice, the sense of sound. Oh, that sounds like a nice little whisper going on there. I know people say it used to be the sound of the sea or the sound of your circulatory system. I don't know, it doesn't sound like that to me. It just sounds like a lovely whisper, a lovely breath. So here's how you do this practice. You get up in the morning and you see your 2 objects side by side. And you grab the one that's all about release. And you go, I want to release that sciatica pain. And then you pick up the object that talks about what you want to let in. I want to let in that healing energy. The practice is as simple as that, a reminder for our day about letting go and accepting and receiving. Just that simple. You can do it as many times as you need in the morning, about as many things as you want to let go of or receive. It doesn't matter. It really doesn't matter. I want to worry less today. I want to trust in God's divine influence, in God's wisdom to lead me in the right path. It can be simply 2 words: let go, receive. Very simple, just a really simple but powerful practice, because guess what? We're using our senses, we're using our body in this practice. We're seeing things, we're hearing things. You can use a bell, you can do anything you want. It doesn't matter. In fact, John, can you put up that slide, please? I'm going to show you what I literally use at home. 2 bars of soap. They sit on my bathroom sink. I got to see them every morning when I get up. My Irish Spring is what I use to cleanse whatever needs to be cleansed out of me and removed. That's my Irish Spring. It's going to cleanse and remove and empty that teacup for me, while my Dove Extra Rich Super Moisturizing Bar represents that goodness that I want to add. I get to touch and smell the soaps. If I'm really into it that day, I might use them for real. But right now, they're just kind of sitting there all nice to remind me of this practice. So these practices, once again, are meant to be playful. Have fun with them. Make them your own. Personalize them with your own words, your own affirmations. Put your mind and your body and your senses into them. Try them for a month and observe what self-transformations occur for you and for those around you. Because we are truly connected truly one. As we transform ourselves lovingly, we transform those around us and we transform the world around us. So from my heart to yours, many loving transformations. Happy Valentine's Day.